What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 3 Stacks. You know I keep it 3,000. Hey man, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Wait, nah, bro. Enjoy the video.
Danny on the beat.
I say what's good, YouTube. I say what's good, YouTube. I say what's good, YouTube. It's your boy 3 Stacks. Say what's good, YouTube. It's your boy 3 Stacks. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 3 Stacks, and I'm back with another video. But today we're gonna be talking about the Charlie Kirk situation. I know y'all heard what happened with Charlie Kirk, but I guess they found his shooter and he came forth. And I just want to say, though people might not agree with his takes and stuff like that, at the end of the day, he still is a human being, and we should not glorify anybody passing. And I do pray for his family and hope that God pretty much watches over them while they're in their grieving process. So, without further ado, this is another video about Maury. Let's get right into it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news, breaking news. It has recently come to my attention that as of an hour ago, Tyler Robinson, the shooter of Charlie Kirk's roommate and partner, has come out to the FBI and has basically snitched on the guy. Apparently, the FBI has identified Tyler Robinson's boyfriend as some kind of transgender furry who possibly aided and abetted Tyler Robinson in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably going to be the last video I'm making on the subject. Probably not. I don't know. You know, as I've been covering this case, talking about the story in real time, there's been a lot of people calling me all kinds of slurs, pulling up to my DMs, commenting nasty, vile, heinous comments like, you know, he would have laughed talking about Charlie if it were you who died on the stage, who got shot in the neck, and would have said you had it coming, right? Well, you're actually just a cowardly Republican that can't admit you're conservative, so you call yourself a centrist, so maybe not. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the types of people apparently that I'm making content for. Like, I wasn't aware people like this viewed my content. I promise you, no respectable commentator, political or otherwise, or anybody with basic human decency would laugh at anybody being shot in the neck on stage in front of their wife and kids. But these are apparently the psychos who are out here walking amongst us individuals unsuspectingly. I just don't get it. I wouldn't wish that type of death on my worst enemy, dying like that in front of his own family in such a manner as that. But I guess I'm just different. My morals are different. But here, as we can see,
And if you heard, I think someone said that his daughter had heard the gunshots and tried to run to him. Like, bro, that is sad, bro. Like, and if you've seen the video of him getting, you know what I'm saying, like, it was very like vivid and stuff, and like it was very graphic. So for his daughter to have ran to him, to her father for protection, and then see him in that state, I know that's traumatizing.
the supposed transgender furry partner of the shooter, Tyler Robinson, which pretty much lines up with everything else I was talking about in previous videos. The reference to femboy, notices bulges, ooh woo, what's this? Apparently that's linked to femboy, trans lingo for, you know, guys who are into that type of stuff. As stated in last night's video, I was speculating and theorizing that the shooter, Tyler, may have had a femboy, furry type boyfriend or partner, you know, based off of the evidence I was reporting at the time. And as of now, it has just been confirmed. As according to the New York Post, they say Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson lived with transgender partner. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson was living with a transgender partner who was in the process of transitioning from male to female, a law enforcement source confirmed to the Post Saturday. That individual, who has yet to be publicly identified by the authorities, is now fully cooperating with the FBI on its investigation into the fatal shooting of the conservative activist, the source added. The relationship was first reported by Fox News' Brooks Singman on Twitter. Credit to Brooks Singman, she was the one to break the story on Twitter. Shout out to her. According to public records, Lance Twiggs, 22, which is the partner, currently transitioning and is also a furry, resided at the same address where Robinson lived. A relative of Twiggs confirmed to the Post Saturday that, and I quote, yes, they were roommates, unquote. And here, as we can see, is a image of the 22-year-old Lance Twiggs. I also found his TikTok page, by the way, of which I'm going to show you now. Here, as we can see, before it obviously gets wiped, his TikTok page by the name of Lance Lodel. So I'm quickly just going to be going through the videos he has on his TikTok page before they get wiped. As you can see, just random content here. Somebody says, so the far right theory just got shattered. Here we have another video, top comment.
I wonder what the motive was. I mean, actually, I probably know what the motive was. They probably felt some type of way about something.
says, hey, can we get a comment about Tyler's political motivations? And here's another video of
Christmas, I
him.
got one of those cookie boxes, but here's the magic part. Watch this. There are actually cookies inside of here, and I've never seen that in my life.
Somebody said in the top comment, did Tyler, quote, notice your bulge? I'm pretty sure they noticed a lot of bulges. Here's another video here. I'm not sure who this is. Is that Tyler in the back? Not entirely sure. So, okay. So it's clear as day that this is Tyler's boyfriend who, based off of what I've heard, he was living in his parents' house and he decided to move in with his boyfriend. And I suppose during all that time, the boyfriend decided to try and transition into a woman via hormone replacement therapy. And reportedly, Tyler was going back and forth, kind of bouncing back and forth between the roommate, who I suppose was living with other people, of which we just saw in that other video, and bouncing back to his parents, back and forth. You know, young people do this all the time. And somehow, some way, according to reports, Tyler, although he came from a Utah-based conservative family who has supported Trump in the past, during his sophomore year, which is 10th grade of high school, he started to become increasingly radicalized towards left-wing ideology. He started becoming incredibly left-wing. And again, the distinction, not liberal, not even moderate left, like extremely left-wing, consuming lots of, dare I say, violent, revolutionary rhetoric that can lead someone like Tyler Robinson, who was also suspected to be slightly autistic as well, to committing heinous crimes against people who are on the opposite side. As we all know, Charlie Kirk did not believe in the concept of transgenderism. He didn't believe in trans. He only believed in either being male or female. So obviously for a person like Tyler Robinson, who was suspected to be slightly autistic and likely fell in love with a transgender furry person like this, of course, feelings and loves and emotions and the radicalization of left-wing ideology would likely lead to him plotting and committing heinous acts like assassinating Charlie Kirk, or anybody else for that matter, who would have been on that stage saying the same things as Charlie Kirk at the time. But Charlie Kirk being in that position, being one of the most prolific political commentators on the right, below that of Trump, would be the prime target for someone like Tyler Robinson. But further in the article, they say the family member who asked not to be identified said Twigs, which was the partner, was the, and I quote, black sheep of their St. George, Utah family, but declined to speculate on a romantic relationship between the two men. Which tracks. Obviously, people like this, furries who are also transitioning with weird, extreme types of ideologies, are.
I never understood like what is being a furry even mean? Like I'm confused. Like you like animals or something? Like I don't get it. I think that's very, I don't know. I think that's like a I think that's like a sickness. Like am I tripping? Like y'all think that's a sickness? Yeah.
Gonna be kind of black sheep in normal society. I mean, good God, guys, you gotta realize regular people, moderate people like myself aren't fans of all the extreme rhetoric. People just want to make money, take care of their children, love their wives and girlfriends, survive and pay bills. Like I'm starting to genuinely realize that these people, these types of people who live in this extreme bubble, this echo chamber, don't realize that the majority of people, Americans or just regular people in the world, don't give a fuck about all this. Nobody wants to live in a world full of assassinations. Nobody wants a war, man. People want peace. People want to just live free, peacefully, and have civil discourse and debate without the fear of getting fucking shot in the head. They also say she said she didn't know her relatives' politics or whether Twigs was transitioning to become a woman, but added that it wouldn't surprise her. So clearly this family member, cousin, sister, aunt, mother, anybody, they revealed her gender, was not surprised by the fact that their own relative was going through this process. The family member said she knew Twigs was brought in for questioning by police. The Post observed Saturday that no one was at the $1,800 per month townhouse Robinson and Twigs were believed to have shared. So looks like whoever was living there abandoned ship. A neighbor claimed 2 weeks ago several people driving cars with out-of-state plates were seen going in and out. 7 cars. Sounds spooky. And I quote, "They did not give off a good vibe," the neighbor said. Sounds like, again, like I said in last night's video, higher forces of which I'm not aware of that I can't see. 7 cars sounds like some Black Ops type shit, I'm not gonna lie. Charlie Kirk, 31, was struck in the neck by a single bullet shortly after being posed a question on his, and I quote, American Comeback College tour, speaking about transgender mass shooters, which is very ironic given the situation. He said, and I quote, "Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Asked attendee Hunter
The irony. Oh my god! So you telling that you were speaking about transgender mass shooters and then got killed by a transgender shooter? Dang.
Zach. So that question came from somebody asking Charlie. Charlie then responded back by saying, and I quote, "Too many." Then the questioner, Kozak, followed up by saying, "Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Then Charlie responded back by saying, "Counting or not counting gang violence." And then after that is when the shooter took his shot. Bang. Wow. And I swear, ladies and gentlemen, the irony of the entire situation involving a male to female transitioning furry who was also the boyfriend of the shooter, Tyler Robinson, speaks volumes. And if we've gotten this far, who wants to keep living in delusion and just not accepting reality for what it is, then I don't know what else to say. You've seen all the content, you've seen all the videos, you've seen all the reports. At this point, I'm kind of like beating a dead horse. If you can't accept it for what it is and what the situation is, then I can't help you any further. You're beyond reproach. Pretty much a lost cause, you know? The article goes on to say that as a self-professed evangelical Christian, Kirk criticized the goals of the LGBTQ agenda, expressed opposition to same-sex marriages, and spoke out against gender reassignment surgeries and procedures, but he usually spoke about these issues with kindness and empathy, which tracks, because I've seen some of the videos. Like this clip right here of Charlie speaking to a gay young man struggling with his identity in politics.
I'm a gay conservative, and I just want to kind of ask you, like, what do you have to say for people like me who kind of feel like, I guess, it's kind of hard for gay conservatives because there's not a lot of us. So, like, what do you have to say to other gay people who need to realize, like, they do have a choice?
Yeah, first of all, welcome to the conservative movement. I don't think you should introduce yourself just based on your sexual attractions.
No, I agree. I like
because that's not who you are.
I like to be thought of as a person, and
for sure, you are a complete human being, and I'm sure you treat people well, and you're studying something. So I want to get away with this idea that you're gay anything. I just think that we have gone a long way in the negative direction in this country, where we act as if the most important part of your identity is what you do in the bedroom. It doesn't mean that much to me, but if you ask from a perspective as a Christian, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but politics is about addition and multiplication. I imagine you agree with a lot of what we talk about.
Absolutely.
Right? Strong borders, strong country, and for that, you know, we welcome you into the conservative movement.
Thank you.
Now, after watching that, how could it...
No, I'm not really, like, look, I don't got a problem with Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Just because I might not agree with everything he says, that don't mean that I got an issue with, bro. Like, I still respect his ideas. Because at the same time, like, just because you might not agree with somebody doesn't mean you can't understand. You feel what I'm saying?
Anyone sit here and honestly say that that man deserved to die? And honestly, after the events that have been happening all week, I can safely say that I would never do what Charlie did. He's a much better man than I ever will be, because I'm not risking my lives to talk to freaks and weirdos who don't even want to have a debate or civil discourse with me, who when I die and get assassinated will cheer and laugh at me because we had differing opinions. Here's another clip of Charlie explaining his message and why he did what he did.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assault, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put it on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
Honestly, all I'll say is, man, at the moment, I'm not feeling good. And yeah, this is probably gonna be the last video on this specific topic I'll be talking about, because pretty much the motive is clear. We get it. Tyler Robinson, gay, furry, trans boyfriend, understandable. Radical, revolutionary, left-wing ideology that was the polar opposite to that of Charlie Kirk. And because Charlie Kirk had a profound voice, millions of fans, global global-wide attention and even links to Trump. He was the prime target, and Tyler Robinson and others like him felt that he needed to be taken out. Simple as, really nothing more to the story. Unless, you know, you believe it goes beyond that into conspiracy theory territory, shadow organizations, people funding the whole operation, patsy type stuff, you know. But I don't want to get into all that because I just feel like that's unnecessary and pointless. But ladies and gentlemen, feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this entire situation? Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It's sad.
Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said it before, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. And you know what I'm saying, my condolences are to his family. And you know what I'm saying, like, though there might not be things that we always see eye to eye on, it is never worth like taking something. Feel me? But anyway, without further ado, I want y'all to like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy 3 Stacks. You know I'm gonna keep it 3,000. And I know y'all will also. But I love y'all. Have a great day. And peace.
I got big packs coming on the way. I got big stacks coming out to save. I got Lil Max with me, he the wave. It's a big gap between us in the game. In the next life, I'm trying to stay paid. When I die, put my money in the